Hi, class. Here's the next speech. This one is Animal Helpers, where the speech needs improvement.
A speech about animals can be interesting and provocative, but this speech has problems with both content and delivery. See if you can spot all of the mistakes that the speaker makes.
Everybody doing okay today? Good. Um, well, I really didn't have much time to prepare for this, but I'll do the best I can. I want to talk to you about dogs that help humans. You know what they say, a dog is a man's best friend? Well, here's a picture of my dog. His name is Rex. Dogs are pretty amazing. They've helped humans for hundreds of years. Gosh, maybe even thousands of years. They help, they help herding sheep and cows. You know, in the movies, cowboys, they get a lot of glory for keeping the cattle together. But dogs play a big role too. When it comes to hunting rodents, everybody thinks of cats. But some dogs are also good at finding and killing undesirable animals. Terriers, such as the rat terrier, can go into holes for mice and moles and rats. In cold and icy countries, dogs provide a valuable means of transportation. Huskies make good sled dogs. Teams of huskies can pull humans and their luggage for long distances across the snow. And dogs are really good at sniffing out drugs. You've seen in movies where bloodhounds and other dogs are used to track people. Maybe it's people who are lost or people who are running from the law. Stuff like that. Everybody knows that dogs make great pets. And they use them nowadays at old people, at nursing homes, so that old people have some companionship. These dogs brighten up the lives of a lot of old people. And of course, dogs, they help the blind people to get around. So, you see that dogs help humans a great deal. Well, I guess that's about it.
Okay, and here are the critical thinking questions. You might use these as you are answering the question, the main discussion question, or in your responses to your classmates. Okay, now we are going to go and watch the improved version.
To be successful, an informative speech should contain material that is new to the audience. In this speech, do you think that the speaker provides fresh, interesting information?
Please take a look at this photo, which is provided by the Sandia National Laboratories in New Mexico. In the foreground are two landmines, each of which is capable of blowing up a tank. The honeybees that are being displayed by the beekeeper are capable of detecting the explosives in the landmines, even if the landmines are buried in the earth. What you're seeing is the Pentagon's newest tool in the fight against terrorism. According to the New York Times, tests have demonstrated that bees have a stronger sniffing ability than dogs. The Pentagon is training bees to detect not only landmines, but also truck bombs and other hidden explosives. Bees are among the amazing animals I would like to tell you about today. Animals that safeguard humans by performing tasks that are difficult or impossible for human technology to do. Although I just said that bees can outsniff dogs, our canine friends still have special powers. Some dogs can be trained to warn off the onset of an epileptic seizure. For instance, consider the story of Kathy Benton, a 20-year-old college student in Fort Worth, Texas, who suffers from epilepsy. She takes medication, but the medication can't prevent her from having seizures, and these seizures usually cause her to collapse. The scary thing is that a seizure can occur unexpectedly at any moment. For many people with Kathy's problem, driving a car is impossible. After all, a sudden seizure would cause them to lose control of the car and have an accident. Kathy, however, is lucky. She's able to drive herself to school without any worries, thanks to her golden retriever, who's named Max. Max is a seizure alert dog, a specially trained dog that senses when a seizure is coming on, and then warns the human of impending danger. In Kathy's case, Max starts barking about 15 minutes before a seizure occurs, giving Kathy time to get to safety. According to the University of Florida's Epilepsy Clinic, scientists have not figured out how seizure alert dogs are able to perform this incredible accomplishment. Perhaps the dogs detect a subtle shift in a human's body language, or perhaps they sense a slight change in body odor. We don't know the secret, but we do know that these dogs are performing. They make it possible for hundreds of disabled people to live normal lives and avoid accidents that may harm themselves and others. Now let's turn from the world of canines to the world of birds. At airports throughout the world, falcons are being used to prevent airplane accidents. Let me give you some background information. Throughout the history of aviation, birds have caused airplane crashes, especially during takeoff. In 1995, an Air Force reconnaissance plane crashed at Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska because several Canada geese were sucked into the engine shortly after takeoff. All 24 crew members were killed. Until recent years, managers tried to keep birds away from airports by using two methods: shooting them or poisoning them. These methods had limited success. Today, airport managers have found their greatest success in using falcons. Falcons can fly faster than 200 miles per hour, faster than any other living creature. They scare away ducks, gulls, geese, and other birds. Biologist Richard Dolby of the U.S. government's Wildlife Research Center in Ohio says that all kinds of birds have an inborn fear of the ferocious falcon. You may wonder, do falcons pose their own threat to aircraft? No. Dr. Dolbear says that the falcons are highly trained. They're controlled by human handlers who send them out on their missions and then feed them when they return. The handlers are careful to keep the falcons out of the way of planes. Falcons are being used not only by Air Force bases, but also at big commercial airports such as JFK International Airport in New York City. They're doing a valuable job, and they're doing it better than any human can. Our next animal is less glamorous than the falcon, but it also does a valuable job. The lowly goat helps reduce the possibility of brush fires, which can be devastating. Many parts of the country have to worry about wildland fires during dry spells. For example, last year in California, one fire alone consumed 273,000 acres and destroyed 300 homes. One of the best ways to prevent fires is to clear out thickets of combustible vegetation, and this is where the goat comes in. Goats love to devour weeds and underbrush, and they can graze in places where it's hard for humans and their equipment to navigate. For example, steep hillsides, steep ravines, and rocky terrain. This picture shows a mountainous area with lots of underbrush at the bottom of the trees. During a fire, this underbrush would quickly ignite, but it's hard for humans to reach an area like this to clear it out. Goats can do the job very easily. In areas where wildfires are common, you can hire a goat herding company to bring in a herd to a specific location to clear out the weeds and the brush. Let's sum up what we've covered. We've looked at some of the animals that help to keep us safe and alive. These that sniff out explosives, dogs that warn of impending seizures, falcons that scare off birds at airports, and goats that reduce the risk of dangerous fires. In an age when our technology becomes more and more sophisticated, it's fascinating to see that animals can sometimes outperform our machines. And who knows? Maybe in the years ahead we will discover more and more ways in which animals can help us. I sure hope so.
Okay, and here are the critical thinking questions. Maybe, there we go. Okay, one other question that I would like to add is about her visual aids. Now, I actually have a problem with her visual aids, and I'm just wondering what you all think. How might they have been improved upon? They were certainly better than in the first speech, but there's something about them that I always teach in my public speaking classes to please not do. So let's see if any of you can guess what that is and discuss that, and then I will certainly post at some point what my big issue is with her visual aids.